Obviously, ecstatic for our seniors and for our football team. To be able to come out and perform the way we did at home with so much at stake and winning the Missouri Valley Conference. It was our #1 goal that we set out when we got together for the first time in January. We kept talking about that goal each time we met, whether it was winter conditioning, spring ball, summer, fall, you name it, that our top goal is win the Missouri Valley Conference. And those seniors, I can't say enough about those guys. They're unbelievably special. You know how much I love those guys. We had an emotional week with senior talks, and I'm the one that's lucky. I'm the lucky one to be able to spend my first year as the head coach at NDSU with this group of guys. And it's been an unbelievable ride that we want to continue with a great run in the playoffs, but ecstatic for those guys to be able to do what a lot of people didn't think could be done. A lot of people didn't think could be done, and that's with all the great players, all the great coaches that we lost, come back and win the Valley title. So my hat's off to those seniors and the guys in that locker room. So I'll open up for questions.
Go ahead, Del. Do you have an update on Travis?
We'll find out a little bit more, but ankle, foot, we'll find out for sure probably tonight or tomorrow.
Emotions running through you and the locker room after clinching the Valley title, especially for you, first-year head coach.
How lucky I am. You know, I thought we had a pretty good football team to start the season, but there was a lot of question marks, and we play in a really tough league, and those seniors just weren't going to be denied. And really emotional for me with all those guys coming out and giving me a hug before they ran out for their last game. And I'm happy for those guys. Obviously, makes it really special for me, but I'm really happy for those guys.
2 first-quarter turnovers. You seem to step on the gas pedal and really never let up after that opening start.
Yeah, I was so pleased that we were able to create the takeaways on defense, and then our offense was able to capitalize on those. And I thought for us to get a quick start was going to be the key to us winning this football game. If we gave them a lot of life early, then we were going to be in a dogfight till the end. But for us to be able to capitalize on those mistakes that they made and turn them into touchdowns, set the tone. I think we were up 14-0 at the end of the first quarter, and felt like we were in control of the game.
Was the plan to get Carson in the running game like that, or is that just...
Absolutely it was. We had seen some things on tape that we thought we could utilize Carson a lot more since we hadn't really the last couple weeks. You bet. We needed, I don't know what he rushed for, but 120 yards is pretty doggone good. But no, we were going to utilize him in the run game.
Like, is his ankle back to full health now? Is that something that
he was still bothered by it a little bit, but the adrenaline gets going for Carson. He wasn't going to be denied a victory for these seniors today. I know he took it upon himself and with the offense to say we're going to get this done for our seniors, and he played a fabulous game.
Just another outstanding game. What has been the difference for him? He's just been so good as of late.
He just runs so hard, and he doesn't go down on first contact, and he's able to get those extra yards, and he's just running the ball with such determination. And we told him we were going to give it to him between 25 and 30 times, and he got 28 carries.
Chris, I heard the word emotion so much in the last 7 days. Is there a risk too much? Can you have too much emotion? Did you worry about
Probably this week was the key, Jeff, as far as, we have a tradition around here. We let the seniors talk to the team, and that's tough when you've been here for 4 or 5 or 6 years like Vaudelin, to address those guys and how much Bison pride means to you, how much playing for your teammates, how much the seniors being together another time. I don't think you ever can talk about the emotion too much, and I'm an emotional guy, and there's some emotional guys in that locker room, and it's a special group.
When Beckett went down, were you worried that emotion might, senior day?
Oh, you always worry about that. But you have to move on. Unfortunately, you have to move on for at least that game. You've got to, we had to make some adjustments. Nick, you got to go into Mike backer. Carl, you haven't played any snaps of outside backer or nickel in practice this week, but we're going back to your South Dakota game, and you've got to get those fits. So once again, Carlson Littlejohn to say, okay, I'm going to change my position that I've played all week, and I'm going to play where Travis did was great job by Carlton.
Was the TV reported that it was a ruptured Achilles? Did you hear that?
That's what I had heard, but I think they still need to verify it.
If he is out, what does that mean for the rest of the way for your team if Travis can't go?
Well, then LJ becomes the position that Travis does, and Nick becomes the Mike backer, and we've probably got to play a little bit more nickel, but we weren't able to do that because CJ tried to go and just couldn't. So that hurt us there because then we could have had CJ out there as well as Champ. But we'll cross that bridge when we have to early in the week once we find out for sure everything.
Exactly. Is wrong, CJ? Is that meniscus?
Yep.
You expect him back?
Yeah, we'll definitely expect him back. And he practiced on Wednesday and Thursday. But then early in the game, Bobby just said he couldn't push off, and so we weren't going to risk any more damage so that he could make sure and be healthy for the playoffs.
Are you positioned about as well as you can be going to the playoffs, do you believe? I mean, aside from the home field and all that stuff, do you feel like your team is
well, I think we're playing really well. Obviously, if you lose a kid like Travis Beck, it can be a big factor, but the next guy's got to come in and step up. I mean, that's what we do here, and the next guy will, whether it's Nick or whether we go into more nickel stuff. But no, I feel we're positioned really well.
Was that the message to the team, to the week, the home field advantage that you could possibly get if you won this game?
The first thing was the Missouri Valley Conference Championship. The home field obviously came with that, but winning the Missouri Valley Conference and hoping to make sure that all the playoff games have to go through Fargo. And if we're fortunate enough to get a 1 or 2 seed with the committee, then that goes through Fargo. So we thought if we took care of business and won the football game, and Youngstown's a good team, and their backs were against the wall, and they had to win the game too, that all those other things would take place. So winning the Valley was the first goal.
Describe Christian Dudzik's performance today. 2 picks and a forced fumble.
He played a great game, and Christian was healthy. Last week, both he and Higgs weren't healthy, but they were just going to play to make sure that we had this opportunity this week and to play for the conference championship. Christian played a tremendous game, and he's played so many football games. I was so happy to see his last regular season game for him to be such a difference maker.
You believe today's win's validation for the staff you put together to say that there wasn't going to be any drop-off after all the changes?
Well, I'm just happy for those guys. Some of them left really good jobs. Some of them left conference jobs to come here. It's always, trust me, I know it's always tough to do that. So you leave a conference job to come here. You leave a guy like Tim to leave the FBS to come back. I thanked every one of those guys for having the trust in myself and the guys like Goose and Connor and Coach Kramer that stayed, that, hey, this thing could continue to move forward, and I'm really happy for all those guys. We've got a really great staff.